Guys, today we have some very interesting data that was just released, which I need to show you. This suggests the next major move for Bitcoin. So guys, this is something you will want to stick around for. I'm also going to talk about history repeating right now. As I am recording this video, you can see a very clear pattern here. And the last time we saw this, we did see a pump towards the upside. So guys, stick around for this and much more in today's video. If you are at all involved in the crypto space, you will want to watch this because there's something going on behind the scenes which a lot of people are not paying attention to right now. Pay attention to what the big money is doing, because this is actually not something that you will expect. Everything is suggesting that Bitcoin is going to go towards one direction. Meanwhile, you have the smart money going in the complete opposite direction. So yeah, stick around for that. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So for Bitcoin, just like I showed you in the intro, you can see that we have a little bit of a pattern here. And the last time we were at the same kind of point, I talked about this as well, and I said that this orange line really needs to hold. If this orange line doesn't hold, then expect some more downside for Bitcoin. And you could see that from this point, we did see a breakout towards the upside, and this was a pretty convincing move towards the upside. However, we have retraced that entire move, and right now we are making a little bit of a similar pattern, a little bit of a downward sloping trend line, which we are currently breaking out from. So let's see where this 4-hourly candle is going to end. You can see that we had something similar right here. We did break out of it, but then we just came down and the candle closed below this level. So this can still be the case with this one as well. So let's wait and see how this candle is going to close, but this could be something for a short-term trade for Bitcoin, of course, if you want to take that. But zooming out on the longer time frames, the reason why we have retraced this move, of course, is because traditional markets have had a major pullback here recently for traditional markets. In fact, on Friday, we actually did close a 4-hourly candle, not only 4-hourly, but a daily candle below this red line. And this is a key red line, guys. If this doesn't hold up the Bitcoin price, which, we will see. Tonight, the futures market are going to open. And if we continue to go down when the futures markets opens tonight, then it is looking likely that traditional markets could see $4,237 again here, which, yeah, that's a quite significant retracement from the previous swing high here at 4,636. That's about 9%. So let's watch this, guys. This would break a lot of people's confidence if we continue to break down when we open up the traditional futures market this evening. Now, there's some other more important data also I need to talk about. So the first thing is that the Trueflation data, which is tracking inflation in real time, you can see that this has bottomed out. And if anything, it's looking like the inflation is starting to potentially come back up higher. And this is evidenced by the crude oil price going up significantly. Look at this. The crude oil price is at very close to a local high here. And this can definitely continue. And if you look at the supply shock, let's look at the oil right now. And we know that they have cut the oil supply. And the deficit we have right now, compared to after COVID, we have a 100 million barrel surplus. Right now, we have a minus 200 million barrels deficit. So you can see the change here. Since the 2000s, we have never seen such a deficit in oil. And this is most likely going to lead into the oil prices going up higher. And if the oil prices goes up higher, well, oil is being used in most of the products you use. It's being used in most things across the world that we consume. So that is not a good thing. Crude oil is showing a huge supply deficit going back 23 years. This is the first time we're seeing anything like that. Given that energy prices are an input in pretty much everything you consume, this isn't something you can afford to ignore. After COVID, the combined inventories of crude oil and its refined products peaked at 1 million barrels of supply above the 5-year average. Since then, it has dropped straight to a deficit of minus 200 million barrels. So this is the steepest decline we've seen in the last 20 years. Here's the thing. The oil producers, they are probably counting on a big recession hitting the world. So the demand for oil is going to potentially go down, because if companies go bankrupt, there's a recession, then, you know, oil is not in such a big demand. At least in theory, it shouldn't be. But, right now, yeah, we are at a huge deficit. So this is definitely something to pay attention to, because this is affecting inflation. Other things affecting inflation is that the price for live cattle, which is meat basically, is at its highest price on record and are now up 20% this year alone. Meanwhile, olive oil prices are up 100% and orange juice are up 70%. So you can see for fish and chicken and so on, it's also going up. And you can see live cattle here. So people are eating meat. They will basically have to stop eating meat soon, because the prices are just going through the roof here. So this is of course affecting food prices as well, which is going to affect inflation, which is going to affect the markets, which is just a big domino effect. Now we know that the Fed officials are already paying attention to this. The European Central Bank, the recent energy price increase is structural, not a short-term transitory rise. So this could be lasting, and it's not just something that's going to be for a very short amount of time. And if you look at the Fed, we will be watching if energy price increases to push up short-run inflation expectations. And this is really all they can do. They can push up short-term inflation expectations. They can say that instead of looking for inflation to be at 2%, we're expecting it to be at 4%, because really, they cannot bump up interest rates much higher. And if they want to bump up the interest rates, they are basically going to break the banking system. And we already know what happened with the banks, even with these current rates. So if inflation continues to go up, the question is, how are the Feds going to react? Are they going to increase the interest rates even more, which is going to, yes, make the prices of Bitcoin and so on go down? But it will also affect the banks. It will crash the banking market and the financial markets overall. So of course they cannot do that. And let's look at what the smart money are betting on, because interestingly, everything right now is suggesting that Bitcoin is going to go down lower. Inflation for oil is going up. Inflation for prices for cattle is going up. Food prices are going up. The stock markets are going down. And Bitcoin is at a very key point here. And if this doesn't hold, we can see a little bit more of some downside for Bitcoin. But here is the key thing. Let's look at what the smart money are doing. The smart money, they just increased their long positions from 1.1 million contracts to 1.167 million contracts. And let's look at the shorts. They decreased their shorts from 317,000 short contracts to 302,000 short contracts. So there's a big shift this week, guys. The asset managers, the smart money, are going long the market. They are buying the dip right now. So I think the smart money, they are betting on, even if inflation goes up, the Fed are going to resort to something to try to, at the end, you're going to see more money printing, and you're going to see assets go up as an end result of whatever they're going to handle the situation with. So that is basically what the smart money are doing. A couple of other things to pay attention to. Celsius had a vote that ended on Friday, which could mean that the users of Celsius could see about $2 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum being distributed to the former users. Now, we still haven't had this confirmed. We'll see what the vote was. But if this actually passed, then the customers of Celsius, could actually see this being paid out towards the end of this year, which could add some selling pressure. Also, it could cause a little bit of fun and panic in the markets. So we have to pay attention to that as well, of course. Guys, this is what I got for you. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.